We keep having these aha moments. And I had one just like 2 weeks ago, finishing one of our assignments from this section, and it was studying the boxfish. And in studying the boxfish and really researching it and studying what's going on, and we look at the shape, and there's a lot of work on vortices. And I realized, as I'm reading about it, I also did a paper on whale power studying the humpback whale. And there's a lot of work in vortices, a lot of discussion on vortices. And I was really connecting these two, even though the vortices were different. I was realizing the power of both of these organisms was in the vortices that they're making. And the vortices were creating the forces and the power. So it's like the form was important, but the form was a means to the end, and the vortices were the real power. And now I'm looking around at other things thinking, is it the shape of the leaf, or is it the vortice that it's creating that's what's important? And that's another just huge eye-opener to me, and I can start to look at every organism different now just with that.
So one day in Montana, we were just walking around, and we have met a whole family of deers. And it was really impressive because, well, it's not that you were talking to them, but you were feeling that they were there and they were trying to say something. And the thing that I realized, we went there with the first group of 4 of us, and then we saw them, and they were really kind of shocked. They didn't know what to do because there are a lot of hunters there, so they don't trust humans. But we were just there, just looking at each other. And then we went back, and we brought another group just to try to look at them. And then when we were there were a circle of about 10 or maybe more deers just making a circle around us in Montana. So we just, you cannot really do something. If they want to do something against you, you are just completely exposed to them. But then they just brought, like, behind them, it was their kids, or their offspring. So they start to play around, and they felt safe enough with us to show us that they also had families. So they were playing all around, all over the place, and you can see jumping the small deers. And that was very impressive for me, because at that point I understood that we all have families, and that is really, really hard. So I was thinking that maybe they need to go out during the night because we hunt them during the day. So if we can see each other as equals, then that would be a whole different perspective. So you will just hunt necessarily for eating, but not because you want to do a different business. So it has been really, really a strong feeling for me as well.